Busyness does not equal business. Now, I've been preaching this for decades, long before social media came on the scene, let alone now we got AI. Holy cow, what's going on now? So the trap is not new, is what I'm telling you here. First, we saw social media arrive. When social media came on the scene, everybody was getting lost in the doom scrolling, and they still do to this day, and people started to excuse business or make the mistake of thinking busyness was business, and it's not, right? And today, you got full-time content creators out there that are doing all kinds of crazy work on social and YouTube just to stay visible. Now that AI is here, it's like we've been supercharged, and the problem is reached a whole nother level, right? Oh, we could create more content now. Woohoo, wonderful. Not necessarily. So a lot of successful business owners these days think that they're building an empire when they're actually just building a shinier, faster prison for themselves that completely owns them. Let's look at why. If you're like most business owners out there, you've already tried to tech your way out of this, right? More tools, shinier tools, trying to get your way through this. You've bought all the platforms at this point. You've played with the bots that exist, and the net result, you're still firefighting every single day, right? That's a problem, folks. And you're working harder than you'd ever admit to your peers, right? We're afraid to tell people what's really going on. Does that sound familiar to any degree? Now, if you're new here, I'm Dean Mercado. I've been in the business world since probably the late 80s. I guess you could say the formal technical. I've been working for longer than that, though. But I started in big corporate America back in the late 80s, early 90s, right? I spent 12 years in corporate America, did a lot of great things, ran multi-million-dollar projects around the world, did a lot. Then my inner entrepreneur kind of couldn't be held back anymore. And I've been running online marketing muscle since 2004. Oh, that's crazy, isn't it? That is crazy, right? It's been a long time, folks. But I'll tell you, we're the dinosaur in that aspect. We've been around a long time in this industry. We've been playing hard here for a long time. So after about 20,000 hours of professional coaching that I've delivered over that time, I could tell you straight up, when a business plateaus, it's a structural failure. And right now, AI is creating 4 massive drains that are quietly sucking the leverage right out of your enterprise. Think about what I just said. It's draining you. It's bleeding you dry at this point. AI just can make it happen better, faster. And that's not necessarily a good thing. So let's name these drains. Okay, the first drain is time. Right? Time is your only non-renewable asset. You can always make more money, but you can't get back time. Think about that. But yet we squander it so easily, so readily, right? So the classic time drain used to mean doing your own scheduling or administrative work. Today, AI is completely supercharged this trap. Now, you're spending 3 hours tweaking a prompt. Let's say you're watching software tutorials. You're trying to get a chatbot to look like it knows your business. Look at what's happened. You didn't buy back your freedom here. And that's what you need to understand. You just hired yourself as an amateur, an unpaid prompt engineer. Ooh, I know that stings a little bit, doesn't it? You took on a brand new high-tech job, right? With zero leverage. Right? Zero proper training. Ooh. And you became the highest paid operator in the building. That's not a good place to be, folks. The second drain, folks, is money. Money. Now, this is the illusion of innovation. Right now, owners are stacking these $20, these $50 subscriptions like crazy. Right? Everything's a subscription these days. It's a little bananas. The problem is most are getting zero visible ROI to show for it. That's a problem, folks. It's slow bleeding. Death by 1,000 cuts concept there, right? But here's the drum beat. AI amplifies. It does not absolve. I'm going to say that again for the people way in the back. AI amplifies. It does not absolve. So, if you bring order to a tool, AI is going to multiply that order. If you bring chaos to that same tool, AI is going to multiply the chaos. That's just the way it goes, folks. So, automating a broken process doesn't make you scalable. It just means that you've built a machine that ships mediocrity at scale faster than ever before. Wow, is that a good thing? Probably not, folks. That's busy work, right? With a software subscription. Next up is the third drain, and the third drain is momentum. The third drain is momentum. So, more activity, but absolutely zero forward motion. Not a good thing, right? Now, I've been a drummer for over 40 years. Yeah, I play, and I enjoy it. It's my outlet, right? Keeps me sane. So, when I'm in a band, if the drummer loses the pocket, if I lose the pocket when I'm playing, the song is going to fall apart in seconds because the rhythm gets disrupted. Major problem for music, right? Now, because AI can generate text and strategies and images, right, in 3 seconds or less, owners are now flooding their leadership teams with half-baked ideas and new software experiments every single day, right? That's a problem, right? It's a distraction. So the wheels are spinning at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but the car is completely stationary. You're confusing rapid activity with real business progress. And every time you throw a new tech distraction at your team, you're going to break their stride, right? It stops the forward movement. Not a good thing. Keep that one in mind. Okay, we're on to the fourth drain, the fourth and final drain. And this one is the one that I feel is the most dangerous of all of them, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Right? Because most of us entrepreneurs have gotten into business for one of many reasons, but one big one that I see as a coach is freedom. Freedom. They want their freedom. And the fourth drain is the freedom drain. So this is where sophisticated procrastination hides in a business. Very dangerous. This is the owner who knows they need to step back, but they use the technology in this case, right? Maybe AI as an excuse to wait. Think about what I just said. You tell yourself, once I get this AI employee built, or once I master this new application platform, then I'll hand over the keys. There's always a, once I do this, then. Once I do that, then, right? When is now that time, right? So it feels like preparation, right? But it's just a stall tactic. Now, trust me, I've coached a lot of people over the decades. I told you before, over 20,000 hours logged. So I see these patterns over and over again. That's one of my gifts, I guess, is pattern recognition. I could see things maybe others don't see. Remember, I'm on the outside looking in. It's easier to see. So meanwhile, you're still trapped in the expert trap. You're holding the steering wheel. You won't let it go, believing no one else can do it quite like you. Right? Does that sound even remotely familiar? The company doesn't run on systems. It runs on your personal adrenaline. Ouch. Ouch. I know that stings a little bit, right? So if you're still the primary bottleneck, you don't own an asset here, folks. You own a job. Now I'm going to say that one again for the people way in the back of the room. So if you're still the primary bottleneck, you don't own an asset. You've built yourself a job. Is that what you wanted? If so, great. Good for you. If not, and it's not for most people I coach, not a good thing. Here's the truth of the matter, folks. These 4 drains aren't happening because you lack work ethic or the technology is bad or something like that. Come on, let's be real here. They're happening because you have a flat spot. You've got a flat tire in your business, right? We all do at some point or another. This flat tire affects the underlying structure of your company. Just is what it is. So these drains are just symptoms. That's how I want you to frame this for yourself, right? The root cause lives in your core business levers, right? Tech cannot fix a broken foundation. I'm going to say that again for the people way in the back. Tech cannot fix a broken foundation. So here's what I've got. I've designed a diagnostic called the Scale Bottleneck Buster. SCALE is an acronym, S.C.A.L.E, right? What it will do for you is score the 5 operational levers, right, that actually dictate whether a business can scale without you. That's systems, that's clients, right? That's authority, that's leadership, that's execution. And it takes less than a couple of minutes to run through, literally 3 to 5 minutes, maybe something like that. A few more if you want to go into a little bit more thinking in detail. Nothing wrong with that. You're doing this for you, not for me, right? So here's what you should do next. You should go down to the description and click the link below, right? I have a link there where you can grab the Scale Bottleneck Buster, right? And find your flat spot so that you know exactly what lever needs to be fixed to stop the bleeding, right? It'll help you identify what's wrong. And I think that's the first part of the challenge, is always finding out what the real problem is, not the one you might think, because sometimes that's what happens. It's not necessarily the one you think. So if you look at your scorecard and you realize that you're finally ready to stop babysitting a dependency and start building a real asset, let's talk, right? You can book a call and we'll have a conversation. So not everyone's a fit for our room, for what we do and how we do it. When we talk, we'll figure that out. It has to be a fit for both of us. That's just the way it is. The choice, like always, is yours. Now, once you run that diagnostic and you find your flat tire, so to speak, your first instinct might be to just throw AI at the problem and let the machine fix it, right? That's become the common thing these days anyway, but there's a massive trap hiding in that, and I want to point that out. It's what I call cognitive offloading. It's very dangerous. And it's the number one mistake that I see smart owners making every day right now. They're quietly outsourcing their leadership and their judgment to an algorithm. Think about what I just said there. Sounds crazy, right? But we're doing it, right? We're doing it every day. So I break down exactly what happens and why it will destroy your unique edge in this video right over here. Take a look at that, right? You might want to see that one. Give it a click, and let's try and keep your hands on the wheel, huh? Here's to your success.